Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome back to today's English practice. We are so happy and grateful that you have chosen to spend this time with us. I'm Alex.
And I'm Sarah. You are watching the channel that is dedicated to making the English language simple, practical, and we always try to add a little bit of fun to our lessons too. We don't believe in boring grammar drills.
That's right, Sarah. Before we jump into today's very important topic, we have a small request. If you find this video helpful, please click the like button. It really helps our channel grow. And if you haven't already, please subscribe so you never miss a new lesson. Your support means the world to us.
Today's episode is really interesting because the topic looks incredibly easy. In fact, many learners think they understand it perfectly.
Yes, it looks simple on the surface, but the truth is, many learners, even at an intermediate level, still make small, avoidable mistakes with these words in everyday conversations.
Exactly. So today, we're going to clear up all the confusion around four tiny but powerful words: this, that, these, and those.
They are very small words, but they are essential for speaking clearly and naturally.
Before we get into the lesson, let's do a quick check-in. Alex, how was your weekend?
My weekend was actually very relaxing. I discovered a small, quiet cafe that opened near my house. I sat there and read a book for a few hours. It was perfect.
Oh, this cafe near your house. The one on Main Street?
Yes, exactly. This very cafe. You know it?
See what Alex just did there? He used the word this. He said this cafe because it's a place that is physically close to him and emotionally present in our conversation right now.
And if I said that cafe, it would feel a little different, wouldn't it? It would feel more distant.
Yes, that is the core difference we are going to explore today. You will see these words everywhere. You use them when you go shopping, when you talk about objects in your house, when you point at something on the street, and even when you talk about your own ideas and feelings.
So, in this lesson, we will help you understand the basic rules. We will explain when to use this, when to use that, and the same for the plurals, these and those.
And we're also going to talk about the word the. We're adding the because many beginners confuse it with these other words. But don't worry, we will explain everything slowly and carefully.
We will use lots of examples, practice with real daily conversations, make small corrections, and hopefully have a little fun along the way.
Okay, let's start with the most simple and basic explanation. Alex, what is this?
This is used for one single thing that is very close to you. It is near you. You can probably touch it.
Exactly. One thing close to you. For example, right now I am holding up a pen. It is right here in my hand. So I should say,
This pen is blue.
perfect. Why did I use this, Alex?
You used this because the pen is near you. It's right there in your hand. It's singular and it's near. So, this equals singular plus near.
Good. Now let's change the situation. Imagine that same pen is not in my hand. Let's put it over there, on the other side of the room, on that table far away from me. Now it is far from me. What do I say then?
Then you would say, that pen is blue.
Excellent. So that equals singular far.
Now let's move on to plural, which means more than one thing. Imagine I'm holding two pens in my hand. They're right here, close to me. What should I say?
I would say these pens are blue.
Perfect. So these equals plural plus near.
And finally, if those two pens are far away from me, on the table across the room, I would say those pens are blue.
Great. So let's make that crystal clear. This is for one thing near you. That is for one thing far away. These are for many things near you, and those are for many things far away.
The rule sounds very easy when we say it like that.
It is easy, but in real life, learners still make mistakes. They might say things like, this pens or that shoes.
Yes, that is a common error. You cannot say this pens because this is for one thing, and pens is plural. You must say these pens.
Let's practice this simple rule with some real-life situations. Imagine you are in a clothes shop. You pick up one shirt that you like. What do you ask the shop assistant?
You would say, "How much is this shirt?"
Good. Now you see a different shirt on a high shelf on the other side of the shop. It's far from you. What do you ask?
You would ask, "How much is that shirt?"
Perfect. Now you are holding 3 shirts in your arms. What do you say?
You would say, "How much are these shirts?"
Very good. And finally, you point to a pile of shirts on a table in the corner, far away. What do you ask?
You would ask, "How much are those shirts?"
Excellent. You've got the basic idea. Now let's make it a bit more interesting. Sometimes we don't use these words for physical objects. We use them for situations, ideas, and feelings.
Yes, that's a great point. For example, if you are watching a beautiful sunset and you feel happy right now, you might say, "This is amazing."
Why do we use this for a situation? Because the situation is happening right now. It is present. It feels close to us in time.
Exactly. And what about after the sunset is over? The next day you are telling your friend about it. What would you say?
You would say, "That was amazing." You use that because the event is in the past. It is not happening now.
Exactly. So this can be used for a present situation, and that is often used for a past situation. Now let's talk about pronunciation. It's very important to say these words clearly. Many learners say dis and dat.
Yes, the correct pronunciation is this and that. You need to make the th sound. To do this, you must put your tongue gently between your teeth.
Very gently. Don't bite it hard. Just let it rest lightly between your top and bottom teeth. Now practice with me. This, that.
Good. Now for the plurals. These, those.
Now, before we go deeper, let's connect this to you. When you are watching this video right now, are you watching it on your phone or on your laptop?
That's a good question for our viewers to think about. If your phone is in your hand right now, you can say, "This phone is small."
And if your old phone is on the table across the room, you can point to it and say, "That phone is slow."
You see how natural it is? You probably use these words every day without even thinking about it. Now, let's slowly introduce the word the. Many students ask us, what is the difference between this and the?
Yes, that is a common point of confusion for beginners. The main difference is that the does not show distance. It doesn't tell you if something is near or far.
So, what does the do?
The shows that both the speaker and the listener know exactly which thing we are talking about. It is specific and known to both of us.
Can you give an example?
Of course. Imagine we are sitting in this room. I might say to you, "Alex, could you please close the door?"
Okay, but which door? There could be many doors.
Exactly. But in this situation, we both know there is only one door in this room. We are both looking at it. It is clear to both of us. So I don't need to say this door. I can just say the door.
Ah, I understand. So we use the when the thing is already clear in the situation. We use this or that when we need to point and show which one, especially if it's a choice or if it's new information.
That's a perfect way to explain it. Now we have understood the basic rules of near and far, singular and plural.
Yes, that part is now clear. But now we move to the really interesting part of the lesson.
The part where learners start to make small but very important mistakes.
Exactly. Because in real life, it's not always about physical distance. Sometimes it's about emotional distance.
Or mental distance, or even your attitude towards something. That sounds fascinating.
It is. Let's imagine something simple. Let's talk about your job. If you really like your job and you feel happy there, you might say, "I love this job."
Yes, using this makes it feel close to you, personal and positive. It's your job right now.
But if you're feeling angry or frustrated with your job, you might say, "I hate that job." You might say this even if you still work there.
That's a very important point. It is not physically far away, you are still there every day, but emotionally you feel distant from it. So sometimes that creates emotional distance.
Very important. Now, let's try another example. Imagine someone tells you something a little strange or unusual. You might be curious and reply, "What is this?"
That sounds curious, maybe a little confused or surprised. You are engaged with what they are saying.
But if you say, "What was that?" it feels very different.
Yes, that might show shock, or maybe you are a little angry, or perhaps you simply didn't hear them clearly.
Exactly. So these small words also show our feelings. Now, let's talk about making introductions. When you introduce someone who is standing right next to you, you always say, "This is my friend Sarah."
You would never say, "That is my friend." That would be incorrect and sound very strange because the person is right there, close to you.
But what if you are talking to someone on the phone? The person you are talking to is far away, but Sarah is near you. What do you say when you hand the phone to her?
Ah, good question. Even though the listener is far away, you are with Sarah, so you still say, "Hi, Grandma, this is Sarah." You use this because she is near you.
Now, let's talk about another very common mistake. Many learners will say, "This is my brother." This is very funny.
Ah, yes, I hear that mistake often. You cannot say, "This is very funny," after you have already introduced the person. Why not?
Because after we introduce the person, we must use the pronoun he or she. So the correct sentence is, "This is my brother. He is very funny."
Exactly. This introduces the person, and then he or she continues the description. Now let's move on to these and those in a conversation. Imagine you are eating a plate of cookies. You taste one and they are delicious. What do you say?
Because the cookies are right in front of me, I would say these cookies are delicious.
Yes, but later that evening, you remember the cookies from your grandmother's house that you ate last week. What would you say then?
I would say those cookies my grandma makes are amazing.
Why those?
Because they are not here now, they are a memory from the past. So those can also refer to things that are not present in time or space.
Perfect. Now let's talk about a tricky difference, this versus it. Many learners mix these up.
If I hold up my bag and say, "This is my bag," that is correct. But after that introduction, what do I say?
You would say, "It is very heavy." You wouldn't say, "This is very heavy" again. We use this to introduce something for the first time. After that, we use it.
Let's try another one. You pick up a phone you found on the table and ask someone, "Is this yours?"
Good. After the person says yes, you might say, "It was on the table." You wouldn't say, "This was on the table."
Correct. Now, let's practice with a small, natural conversation. I'll start. "Hey, Sarah, can you please pass me that book?"
Which one? The one right here?
No, not that one. The blue book near the window.
Oh, this blue one.
No, not that one either. The one next to it, the thick one.
Ah, this one.
Yes, that one. Thank you.
You see, even in a simple conversation like that, we use these words many times, and sometimes even native speakers can get a little confused if the objects aren't clear.
Yes, because context is everything. Now, let's talk about something deeper. We also use this when we are about to explain something important. For example, I might say, "Listen to this."
Yes, that's a very common phrase. It means, "Pay attention, I'm about to tell you something interesting or important."
Or, "Let me tell you this."
That means something important is coming. And then, after we give the long explanation, we often use that to conclude. For example, "And that is why English is fun."
Ah, yes. This introduces the new idea, and that concludes it. Beautifully said. Now, can we use these words with time, like this morning?
Yes, this morning, this week, this year all refer to the current time period. It's the morning of today, the week we are in now.
And what about that? We can say that day or that year.
Yes, which usually refers to a specific time in the past. That day was the best day of my life.
Now, imagine you're telling a story about something that happened to you yesterday. You might start by saying, "So, this guy comes up to me and says,"
But the story happened yesterday. Why are you using this and present tense?
that is a special storytelling technique. We call it the storytelling present. Using this and the present tense makes the story feel more alive and exciting, as if it is happening right now.
So, sometimes we break the rules for dramatic effect. Now let's practice some corrections. I'll say a sentence that is wrong and you correct it. These is my shoes.
Wrong. That's a big mistake. It should be, "These are my shoes."
Good. Next one. That are my parents.
Wrong. It should be, "Those are my parents." Remember, that is singular, so we need the plural, those, for parents.
Perfect. Last one. This apples are sweet.
Wrong. You cannot use this with a plural noun. It should be, "These apples are sweet."
Excellent. You see something very important in these corrections. With these and those, we always use the verb are. With this and that, we always use the verb is. That is a very important grammar rule.
Yes, this is, that is, these are, those are. Now, let's add more emotion again. Imagine someone sends you a very long, confusing, and annoying text message. You read it and just say to yourself, "What is this?"
That sounds annoyed. You are holding the phone, the message is right there, so it's this, but your tone shows your negative feeling.
Yes, but if you receive a really sweet, thoughtful message from a friend, you might say, "I love this."
That feels positive and close. Words are so small, but the feelings they carry can change completely.
Now, I want you to look around you. Find one object near you. Say out loud, "This is my object." Now, look at something far away in the room. Say, "That is my object."
Then find two things near you. Say, these are my objects.
And to far things, say, "Those are my objects."
Please practice this out loud. Don't just listen to us. You have to speak to improve.
All right, now we're getting into the really interesting part, because now it's not just about objects, it's about ideas.
And this is where many learners get confused.
See, you just used this because the idea we're talking about is close to us in the conversation right now.
Perfect example. So let's talk about using these words with ideas, not physical things. You can't touch an idea.
For example, let's say a friend explains a big problem to me. They talk for 5 minutes. After they finish, I can say, "I understand. This is why you are stressed."
You're connecting your understanding to the whole situation they just explained. This refers to the entire idea they shared.
So this can point to a whole idea. Now imagine the opposite. Someone explains a long, complicated plan to you, but you don't agree with it. You might say, that doesn't make sense."
Ah, I see the difference. You used that. It creates distance between you and the idea.
Exactly. When we disagree with an idea or feel distant from it, we often use that. When we agree or feel connected, we often use this.
That's a very subtle difference, but it's powerful.
Very subtle, but powerful. Let's try more emotional examples. If a friend tells you a beautiful, heartwarming story, you might say, "This is amazing."
Positive and close. You feel connected to the story.
But if someone tells you a strange story that you don't believe, you might respond, "That's weird."
You're pushing the idea away emotionally. It's not about physical space, it's about emotional space.
Now let's talk about arguments. Imagine two friends are fighting. One says, "You always do this."
Notice the word this. It refers to a repeated behavior that is happening now and is personal. You always do this means the behavior feels very close and personal and probably annoying.
Very annoying. Now imagine someone is talking about a difficult time in their past, like a bad year at school. They might say, "Those were difficult times."
Why those? Why not these?
because the speaker wants distance from that painful memory. It is emotionally far away from them now.
If the memory was a happy one, like a wonderful vacation, they might say, "Those were beautiful days." It's still distance because it's in the past, but it's a gentle, happy distance.
Yes, past memories almost always use those. Now let's talk about a very common speaking mistake. Many learners say, those kind of people.
Ah, that's not grammatically correct. Those is plural and kind is singular. You have to match them. The correct sentence is either that kind of person or those kinds of people.
Very good. We must always match singular and plural. Another mistake. This people are nice.
Wrong. That is incorrect. People is plural, so you must use the plural these. The correct sentence is these people are nice.
Exactly. You cannot use this with a plural noun. Now let's do a practical exercise. I will describe a situation and you choose the correct word. Ready?
Ready. You are holding one delicious red apple in your hand. What do you say?
This apple looks delicious.
Good. Now you're holding two delicious apples in your hands.
These apples look delicious.
Perfect. Now I point to a single apple on the kitchen table, far from you.
That apple looks delicious.
Excellent. And now I point to a bowl of apples on the table, far from you.
Those apples look delicious.
Great job. Now let's make it harder. You are reading a text message that someone sent you yesterday. It still makes you feel a little annoyed. You show it to a friend and say,
Look at this. Or, what is this?
exactly. Even though the message was sent yesterday, you're looking at it now, so it feels present, not what was that. Now, imagine you're telling a story about your first year at university. You want to talk about the challenges. You say,
Those were tough times.
yes, because it's in the past. But if you want to make the story really dramatic and alive, you might say, so this professor walks into the room on the first day.
Even though it happened years ago, it makes the story feel alive and immediate. Now, let's think about conversations. When someone explains a complicated idea to you and you finally understand, you can say, okay, I get this.
That sounds natural and involved. It means you're connected to the idea.
But if you say, I get that, it has a slightly different feeling.